Welcome to This Explainer. I am so genuinely glad you're here with me today. For the next few minutes, I want to invite you to do something we honestly rarely get the chance to do in our busy, constantly on-the-go lives. I want you to just settle in. Imagine we're sitting together in a quiet retreat lodge, maybe a cozy little mountain cabin, right next to a warm, crackling fire. We're going to have a slightly different kind of conversation today. We aren't going to talk about corporate strategies or the latest quick-fix life hacks. Instead, we are going to explore the quiet, internal foundations of who we actually are when things get hard. We're looking at the architecture of our own presence. So, take a breath, let go of the rush of your day, and let's begin.
So picture that cabin we're sitting in right now. It feels completely solid, completely safe. But suddenly, a fierce winter storm blows in from the mountains. The wind is howling, rattling the glass in the window panes, and right then, you feel it. A sudden, sharp chill hitting the back of your neck. It's an invisible draft. Before the storm, the cabin felt perfectly sealed, right? But the immense pressure of the wind has exposed exactly where the insulation is thin. It shows us where the hidden gaps in the architecture truly are.
I absolutely love this metaphor because it so perfectly captures our source material's profound take on human relationships. Conflict is that winter wind against the cabin. We don't notice the drafts until the storm hits. We so often think of conflict as just an argument between two people, like it's purely an external event. But deeply, it is an internal event. When tension, misunderstanding, or disappointment hits us, it acts exactly like that storm, completely exposing our invisible inner architecture. We don't always notice our unhealed wounds, our protective habits, or our nervous system triggers when the weather is calm. We only notice the drafts when the storm hits.
Section 1. The Invisible Drafts. To truly lead ourselves and others well, we have to start paying close attention to where that cold air is getting in. We have to understand the invisible drafts that pull us out of our center. Okay, let's dive into this, because this is our first real paradigm shift today. Present reality versus older, unhealed narratives. When a conflict happens, we usually think we are just reacting to the words being spoken right in front of us. But conflict is actually a collision of timelines. The draft you feel isn't just present reality. It's often older, unhealed narratives creeping in. You might be feeling present emotion, like anger at a comment someone just made, but layered beneath that is residual emotion, maybe a really old fear of being dismissed. And layered on top of the whole shebang is anticipatory emotion, a fear of future rejection. We are literally reacting to 3 different timelines all at once.
I want to pause right here and just ask you to sit with this for a second. Think about your last really difficult conversation, when the tension rose, when the wind started to howl. What were you actually carrying into that room? Just take 2 or 3 seconds right now to honestly sit with that. Were you just holding the topic at hand, or were you unknowingly holding a massive armful of old expectations, past hurts, and a desperate need to protect yourself?
This right here is a question you can literally carry in your pocket. When you feel that sudden chill of defensiveness or anxiety flare up, ask yourself gently, what belongs to this exact moment, and what is much older than this moment? Sorting the present issue from the emotional fog of the past is the absolute beginning of presence. It's how we stop the past from completely hijacking the conversation.
Section 2. The Speed of Tension. But knowing this intellectually is very, very different from managing it physically. Let's look at what actually happens in our bodies when the wind picks up and those internal drafts begin to accelerate. When tension rises, we see defensiveness and protection, emotional flooding, and sudden withdrawal. And what's fascinating here is that this is biology, not a character flaw. Did you know your amygdala can trigger a threat response in just 20 milliseconds? 20 milliseconds. That is literally twice as fast as your conscious brain can even process the words being spoken to you. When tension rises, our nervous system perceives a threat way before our conscious mind catches up. We move right into survival reflexes. We get defensive and throw up walls. We experience emotional flooding, where the feelings rise so fast we can't process them. Or we suddenly withdraw and shut down entirely. Your body's just trying to protect you from the storm.
And this brilliantly illustrates our second fresh insight from the text today. We haven't lost our care, we've lost our pacing. When we react poorly in a conflict, it's rarely because we don't care about the other person. It's because we have lost our pacing. Tension creates this immense crushing pressure to react instantly. We let urgency become our identity. But presence is not a state of perfect, unshakable calm. It's a metronome. It's an internal rhythm that deliberately slows the speed of urgency so we can actually choose our response rather than just blindly firing off a reflex.
I want to challenge you with this thought. True stability isn't the absence of wind. It's the ability to feel the sudden rush of the draft, to notice your jaw tightening, your heart racing, your fear rising, and choose not to let it blow you across the room. Can you feel the tension and remain anchored in your own center without surrendering your discernment?
Section 3. The architecture of pause.
This brings us to the most practical, physical part of our time together. We are going to build the architecture of the pause. We're going to practice it right now, together. Because returning to your center is a daily rhythm. It's not a final destination you reach once and for all. Let's be real. You will get pulled out of yourself. You will get distracted. You will get activated. The goal is absolutely not perfection. The goal is simply recognizing the drift and bringing yourself back.
I want us to take the next 2 minutes to actually do this. This isn't just theory. This is the physical, gritty work of anchoring. Wherever you are right now, well, unless you're driving, of course, just stop. You don't need to close your eyes unless you want to, but I do invite you to gently lower your gaze. Let the busy world around you just kind of blur for a moment. First, bring your attention all the way down to your feet. Notice how they feel against the floor. Feel the solid ground supporting you right now. There is a firm foundation beneath you that isn't moving, no matter how hard the wind blows outside. Now slowly bring your awareness up to how you are sitting. Feel your weight settling into your chair. Let yourself be held by gravity. You really don't have to hold yourself up so tightly right now. Moving up, bring your attention to your jaw. This is where we hold so much of our unspoken defense. Notice if you are clenching your teeth. Just let it go. Soften the muscles around your mouth. Part your teeth slightly. Give yourself permission to release that physical grip. Next, notice your shoulders. Are they creeping up toward your ears, kind of bracing for impact? Take a slow, deliberate breath in. And as you exhale, physically drop your shoulders. Let gravity take them. Let the tension drain down your arms, through your wrists, and out of your hands. Unclench your fists. Let your hands rest open and soft in your lap. Finally, let's slow the breath. We are going to interrupt the internal speed of urgency together. I want you to inhale deeply, feeling the air expand your ribs. Hold it at the very top for just a second, and exhale very, very slowly. Let's do that one more time. A slow, deep breath in, filling up your lungs completely, and a long, incredibly slow release out, emptying the lungs entirely. I'm going to give you 10 seconds of complete quiet right now. Just listen to the sound of your own breath. Feel the stillness in your body. Let's just be here for a moment. Notice how that feels. Notice the gentle shift in your own internal temperature. That physical space you just created, that is your anchor. That is where presence lives.
When you do this in the middle of a conflict, you are not avoiding the issue. The pause is not avoidance. It is an interruption of speed. A few slow breaths create absolutely crucial space between activation and response. And relationally, when you pause instead of instantly firing back a rebuttal, you communicate something beautiful to the other person. You signal that their reality deserves to be received. It naturally, almost magically, lowers the threat level in the room for both of you.
Section 4. Rebuilding the hearth.
Now, what happens after the storm passes? Even with the absolute best intentions, we sometimes lose our footing. Ruptures happen. So let's talk about a structural review of the relationship, the mature movements of clarity and repair. This is our third fresh insight today. Mature repair is not just apologizing to smooth things over and make the discomfort go away. True repair is a structural review. It's looking at the relationship and asking, what broke down here? What drafts did the storm expose in us? It's a profound opportunity to build a stronger foundation for the next time the weather turns.
The integrity of this kind of repair requires real, deep humility. It means we have to move beyond defending our intent. We have to stop saying, "But I didn't mean to hurt you," and instead honestly acknowledge our impact. Saying something like, "I can see that my tone shut you down, and I am so sorry." And finally, it requires a commitment to changed conduct. Trust isn't rebuilt by words alone, right? It is rebuilt by new patterns of presence and responsibility lived out consistently over time.
So the next time you find yourself in the aftermath of a disagreement, after the apologies have been said, ask this. How can we rebuild the fire so it warms us both? How can we take this disruption and transform it into an opportunity for deeper trust? Conflict doesn't have to be a permanent fracture. It can actually be the very thing that makes the relationship warmer and safer than it ever was before.
We are moving away from the superficial, corporate idea of managing conflict. We are stepping into the deep, profoundly human practice of faithfully returning. Managing conflict is so often just about control. Faithfully returning is about connection. It's about anchoring yourself, seeing the other person's humanity, and choosing to stay in the room emotionally and physically.
I want to leave you with this quiet, lasting confidence today. The goal of all of this, the awareness, the pausing, the repairing, it is not perfection. You will get pulled out of yourself again, the wind will blow, and you will feel the draft. That is just part of being human. But presence isn't about never faltering. It's about how quickly and kindly you come back. We don't need to be flawless, we just need to faithfully return. So the next time the winter wind rattles your windows, will you let it blow you away, or will you use the draft to finally fix the cracks in your foundation? Thank you so much for joining me by the fire today. Take care of your inner architecture, and I'll see you next time.